the dog Chris Collins. How are you doing, sir? Up there in Sheffield, if you're home at all, they're claiming it the best place in the world to live. We have Dr. Irving King Sweeney, who might be here shortly to take part in that 70s Calypso competition. The old people, I might get do. Yep, he's on the lineup. And then we have Mr. Valentine Monician family. Of course, a fan of the station, a national traveling abroad, but he was kind of sad to know he missed the launch of the Legends Calypso tents over the last weekend. All things are possible. He may be here for the next one. Eustace Henderson. And I know this guy has been the power behind Element in the days gone by. We'll talk more about that as we get back. Dr. Mervyn Leader. Also a big fan of the station. Calypso. Wishing you guys all the best up there. Stephen Henry. I said Sister Henry. She said don't call her elder because we all are like. I understand that too. You know, I understand that. So, we have culture. We have all the folks who make this possible. We have Carl Brown, we have Gregory, and they make the contribution. We appreciate them. Okay? We pause this time now to pay tribute to a sponsor of the program, and we will be right back.
I want this and this. Oh, can I have?
Sure, we have an extra $600 from Flo. You can have everything you want.
Get it all with the gift of a free $600 MasterCard cash card. 2 free smartphones and free installation when you bundle Flo Mobile and Internet. That's the gift of free times 3. Get it all this Christmas at Flo. Bundle in store or online at discoverflo.co today.
Merry Christmas!
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that it's greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends link up. You know that we liming. Signal the bartender. No, we don't need chaser, but if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I said, Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
And we're back. It's another beautiful Monday in St. Kitts. Some people talk about the Monday morning blues. We got rain, can't done. We got everything going on. We come to blessings first, etc. I want to start with a clip. You can find it quickly. A young lady sent me a voice clip a while ago. I hope it's audible enough. I want to play it, and that will give us a little idea of what's going on downtown St. Kitts. Let's see if it's gone. Let's see now. Very, very soft. Why is it so soft? Sorry, soft is not good. Let me try. Let me try once more. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. No. It's too soft. Okay, let me try to shed a little light on this. It was sent to me by, I would say, a first-time calypsonian. It's a voice clip of she's singing. She's got a great voice. Speaking about having to pay $4.50 in bus fare from Sandy Point. So it is official, the bus fares have gone up. Some people are protesting. Some people are trying to marry to the lack of raising salaries. The busmen felt they're justified. It's the first time in many years they've had the bus fares adjusted. They speak about the operating costs, etc., etc. So they're happy that they were able to come to some balance where their trade is receiving what they think is a fair share in terms of what you pay. This lady just reminded me that she paid $4.50 from Sandy Point. I that's what I got from the song. I would have liked to play it so you could get an idea, etc. And there's that. And then my good friend over there sent me a clip that spoke about, it's a headline that says more than 11,000 cruise passengers and crew members embark downtown St. John's, Antigua. And the clips here, imagery of people milling around with shopping, etc. The article speaks about, let me just read it and I'm going to come back to why I read it and what my take on the whole thing. St. John's was a hive of activities for Saturday as the cruise vessel Avia, along with 3 other cruise ships, arrived in the port. The activities continued on Sunday as Avia overnighted on Saturday and remained in port until Sunday evening at around 6 o'clock. The cruise vessel Avia of the P&O Lines arrived for the first time for the cruise season and is home porting visit. This season, the vessel will be overnighting each time it arrives. It's a major, major factor. Now, before we go into a whole lot of that, where we here in St. Kitts like to speak about the grass being greener on the other side in terms of the amount of cruise ship visits to St. Martin, Antigua, or neighboring islands. We make comparisons as to what we may not be seeing here. But when we had the arrival of the largest cruise ship in the world, Icons of the Seas, here in St. Kitts, was a very, very great celebratory moment, even though it was it didn't bring out a lot of passengers. It was the first it was the inaugural trip. A lot of investors came, a lot of cruise people came to, check out the destination, and the trips after, they began to bear fruit. So it was a double thing with people. The largest ship here, but didn't bring anybody. Antiguans, I should say, were taking Gaston Brown to task about what he was not doing. Look at St. Kitts hosting the largest ship in the world and blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes after, Antigua was hosting 6 major cruise ships in port on that day. And then we here in St. Kitts start to look at Antigua, what they're doing. So we have this thing about looking at what's happening next door and always believing that the grass is greener on the other side. At the same time, those in the industry here in St. Kitts would know that over the past 3-4 days, there's very little happening at Port Zante in terms of the volume of work coming to those on the ground. So we have to look at the reality of things, We have to look at the reality. It has been rough at the port, whereas in Antigua, they're celebrating. Avia was here last week, and I must say, it produced a lot of work for a lot of people. So it went to Antigua. Did the same. But you had more ships on the ground or at the port at the same time, so the volume on the ground was very impressive, and they're celebrating, and we're looking on. But we are not out of the woods as yet. I'm not making any apologies for what's not happening here. I am hopeful that our season can be more productive, etc., etc. So there's that. Then we go back to the fares now. The taxi fraternity has been trying to renegotiate with the tourism authority about the rates that's now on the ground. These were a post-COVID temporary rates that were put in place. When we were reopening, we had a soft opening, so to speak. We had ships coming at maybe 50% capacity. And that discussion led to, okay, let's take the rates down in order to accommodate the many drivers who need something rather than go with the regular rates right now. Let's make an adjustment. It's a temporary arrangement, etc. That's been the argument. It's been so many years now. How many years since COVID? And we're having the conversation again. We're told that the policies in place, put in place for COVID, are still in place. And we would have heard the PM said when he took office that all those protocols are gone. You know, we're no longer on the COVID era, so the rates must reflect the same thing. So there's some frustration with that in the delay in addressing the rates to suit the current times. We should not be operating on those rates that were put in place as a temporary arrangement post-COVID. So I'm happy that the bus drivers were able to get the increase that they argued has been long overdue. For the daily commuter, it adds an expense, or additional expense that they didn't really anticipate they'd have to make adjustments for. I don't know how that will be fleshed out in their favor, but they have to commute. They have to commute. And they're looking at maybe the government giving a raise in salary. I don't see that happening right now. So as articulated in one song, you have to learn to grin and bear it. Just what's happening out there in the Federation in terms of the increase in bus fares for the passengers. The feedback that's out there right now, they're not happy with it. Bus fare gone up again, and we ain't going to raise in salary, and this and that and that. I find you'll find that around the region when there are increases in transportation costs, and the commuter don't see where he have to, or how he have to make an adjustment. He doesn't know exactly how to, but the adjustment have to be made. You have to get to work. You have to go back and forth from the rural areas. You have to pay. You know. It's not that the bus people are not really don't understand your situation, but we know cost of fuel has fluctuated over the many years since. Cost of material, tires, oil, maintenance in general has gone up. And so we think the perfect approach is that everything must flow in tandem. That happens in a utopian situation. We're not there as yet, but that's what's happening out there. 662-0989. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions, recommendations. We would love to get a feedback from you. It is 18 minutes down past the 11 o'clock hour. And we pause briefly once again for... We're going to pause. We have a clips in the background. We talk about the clips at 10 when we come back. But in the meantime, we give credit to our sponsors. And we'll be right back.
Others continue to fall. What is very strange, we seem to have changed, not for the better, but for the worse. But if we are to recover from this drama, yes, we have got to change our course.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Chip, chip, chip. We wanna get chip, chip, chip.
Give your little smartie the perfect smart start for their future with CHIP, the child investment plan from TDC Financial Services. Invest in your child's next step, and we know what's next is always changing.
Chip, chip, chip. We wanna get chip, chip, chip.
CHIP is a long-term plan with no minimum deposit, no monthly commitment, and you're guaranteed a special high interest rate per annum.
I want chip. I want chip too.
Visit TDC Financial Services today and get CHIP, the child investment plan, providing the best head start for every child.
Chip, chip, chip. We wanna get chip, chip, chip. When you need better service, Rams is always
'Tis the season of Christmas. We feeling festive for so. So you get 2 free smartphones when you sign up for a family postpaid plan with Flow. Choose a family essential plan and get 30 gigabytes of data. The family plus plan and get 45 gigabytes of data. Or the family max plan and get a whopping 60 gigabytes of data. With any family plan, you get 2 Samsung smartphones free. Get it all this Christmas at Flow. Sign up in store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Is needed to fight the crime rates. Don't be afraid to call the police hotlines. Those with information, please don't hesitate. The PM should consider that he have 24/7 police protection. While informers get gunned down by those that they inform on.
Yes. Hey, you're live on Voices. Yeah. Sorry, miss that call. Please free to call back. Amid this madness, I stress a distress call. A lot of advisors providing no answers. Mothers continue to ball. Call your live on Voices. Let's see what you have to say. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good morning, Socrates.
Good morning, Sister Henry. How are you doing, darling?
I am giving God thanks. We survived the thunderstorm. This morning was thunder, and more thunder.
That reminds me of Juke.
Yeah, I think somebody this is about them.
Juke say, if I only hold you tonight, it's thunder. You got thunder.
I'm sure he can't thunder now. No, listen.
Yeah,
I
okay.
like calypso, you know.
Beautiful.
Oh, by the way, I plug in for my nephew.
Who's your nephew?
West Side from Nevis.
Oh, yes, he was very good at the tents, man.
That's my brother, child.
He's very good. He sang a song called about...
somebody anti-man.
Yes, but a couple of years ago, he sang about online. If you want this, you have to go online. If you want that, if you want love, you have to go online. So, you know, it is.
So, if he's listening, you got to do your anti-proud.
Yes, if he's not listening, I'm going to talk to him because we correspond, you know, we're in the 10th season. So, he was very good, actually.
That's Yampy son.
Remember Yampy? I remember him very well. As a matter of fact, I told him the other night that he's a performer. I say you're an entertainer. Because that's what he does. He's not only take the mic, he works with the band, and he was very entertaining. The other highlight was Waco, his friend, who's saying that sang a song that she wake it up the graveyard. And had the place...
Oh, to me, you? To me?
Not me, man. He said she
having,
wake it up out the graveyard. You don't need Viagra. You need steamed fish and banana. Some sarsaparilla.
Thing that I sell online.
Yeah. What the name?
9 pills for, what's it? $7, some store like that.
Really?
If you take care of your body, you know, and get a wife. It's abuse, you know.
9 pills for $7.
You know, if you wait, most time by you, which is something, you know, you're worn out.
Yes.
You go in here, there, and everywhere. Anyway, let me get back to the condolences.
Oh, that's it. I just saw.
I want to send condolences to my godson, Rudolph Tucker. His wife passed, I think it was Saturday.
Okay.
From the village.
Yes.
He used to work security guard in Koori Wholesale in the gut for years. Quiet, soft-spoken, pleasant person.
Mm-hmm.
He's now blind and he attends the Association
Are the blind?
of Person with Disability.
Okay.
And to the Strawn family, I don't know the person, but I know the name, Alex Strawn. The lady who was killed in a tragic accident.
I saw her picture, and all I can say, she looks very familiar. But beyond that, I don't know her.
And I know the name, you know, Alex Strawn, though.
I do, yes, of course.
So I don't know if it's his mother, his auntie, or his sister. Now, something came to me, because I keep saying it. How about trying to engage the high school students in writing calypso?
I have a long answer for you. I can give you that.
Give it to me.
Okay. I approached the CFB years ago when Hermie Morton was there to introduce a program called Calypso on the Campus. And that was part of the goal, right? She loved it. Sam Condor loved it, etc. The resident musician there said that he had a similar program in mind, but he's in charge. So I defer to him. As far as I know, it didn't happen. I was offering for the college students to attend the Calypso tents. All they had to do was show their ID. I was contacted to go to virtual school to teach Calypso there. You know, there were some names, Contender, Controller, King Fancy, and myself to start a program. One head teacher said that he objected to me because I had a song called No Ting No Ring. And so I'm going to ask him, that's all you know?
Okay.
And so the discussion has been there before. I have offered myself many, many times. You know, but...
You say because I say you're teaching literature and English and so.
Yes.
I told somebody the other day, they used to practice in the high school.
Mm-hmm.
Something that everybody came together and all who wanted to go in had to go up on the stage and sing. You know, it gave them some courage before they reach the junior calypso.
That level.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I told the Carnival Committee in discussions last month or whatever. What happens now, these kids are approached in October, November, when they're doing the exams.
Yeah,
I recommended we have throughout the year inter-school calypso competition. Get them prepared because, and we spoke about the question, how do we get to school? You don't wait until November when they're focusing on the exams and have the parents scrambling to get some. Come on.
July to September.
Have an inter-school or some inter-school calypso competition at that level throughout the year. So better prepare them, and the winner now gets to take part in the. But nobody listens to me. You know, we are the old people, right?
They hear you this morning. You got to repeat it because you have the high school teenage pageant. It's high school.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have it for the girls, you can have something for the boys.
Of course. But I've been making myself available fancy for many, many years. Nobody takes us on. In other countries, senior calypsonians are employed to do that.
You like to talk, but we don't like to do. And we keep back ourselves, you know. Because when you hear some of them sing, and some of them singing in church, so they have tune.
Okay.
You know?
We have a minute before the break, Sister Henry. We have a minute before the break because we expect
All right then.
Yeah.
So condolences to my godson, Rudolph Tucker and his family, the Strawn family, and all those who are grieving. God bless you.
God bless you too. We do expect your guest in the house in a minute, so that is why we'll take the break right about now. When we return, we should be interviewing a young lady from Monroe College, I'm told. Take it down, Tom.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that it's greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends drink up. You know that we liming. Signal the bartender. No, we don't need chaser, but if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I say, Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
I want this and this. Oh, can I have?
Sure, we have an extra $600 from Flo. You can have everything you want.
Get it all with the gift of a free $600 MasterCard cash card. 2 free smartphones and free installation when you bundle Flow Mobile and Internet. That's the gift of free times 3. Get it all this Christmas at Flow. Bundle in store or online at discoverflow.co today.
Merry Christmas!
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
when are we on? Okay, welcome back to our viewers and listeners around the globe. Our guests have arrived. I mentioned briefly that we expected some guests, and we're told they're from Monroe University. Is that correct?
Yes,
See, he says colleges say universities, so please correct us.
Yes. So for a long time, you guys have known us as Monroe College. This summer, just this summer, we recently got university status. So myself and Miss Harvey, we're going to try to do our best and stay on track with the university name.
Okay.
Yes.
I was sent Hodge. Is it correct? Are you Hodge?
Harvey.
Harvey, he says, I'm saying put him in trouble.
Yes.
All right?
Hey, it's okay.
So let's officially introduce yourselves to the public at large, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kimara Isaac. I am the Caribbean Outreach Manager at Monroe University. I have done quite a bit of work in the Caribbean islands in terms of enrolling students, getting them information about Monroe College then, now Monroe University. Yes, so today I wanted to come in and bring in one of our new employees who's getting herself familiar with the Caribbean region as well, Miss Madeline Harvey, and I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Yes, thank you so much, Kimara. Good morning, everyone. My name is Madeline Harvey. I am based in New York, as Kimara said. I work on the Monroe University campus, based in New Rochelle, New York, and I handle all things students. So if you are interested in coming for achieving your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, I am the one that will be more than happy to assist you completing your application, answering questions about scholarships, life on campus, life in New York, anything like that would be more than happy to help.
Okay. That sounds very interesting. That sounds like something that the folks who are interested would like to hear from you. But first, I'm going to ask you to take us back to the historic background of this very famous university. It's famous. We need like to get some background information for our viewers and listeners, please. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so in terms of the history, Monroe University is a private institution in New York. It has been around for just about 90 years. We celebrated our 90th anniversary.
90.
Woohoo! So yes, in terms of us, the college actually started as a business school. Back in the time when things were a little bit tough educating females. It is a family-owned institution. So it started with the now president, his great aunt. His dad led it after that for quite a while. And now from certificate programs, associate's degree programs to now even master's degree program, a variety of programs that we offer. Recently, as we mentioned, we have obtained university status.
Okay.
Yeah, so that has shown you the amount of work we've put in and the nature of what who we are at Monroe University. Very diverse in terms of the people around campus, our professors, and our programs all together. So that's a little bit about the background of where it has started and where it actually is now. In terms of recognition, we got some of the top rankings in terms of graduation rates recently, helping students just meet their graduation rate, graduating on time with their degree. All of these beautiful and exciting things that are happening at the university at this time. It's a great opportunity for the students as well as for us. So we are eager to be here just to share information about the university on a whole.
Okay, my stupid question. How long have you been here, and what has the reception been like? I would assume that you've liaised with the Department of Education, the colleges, etc. They set platforms for you to interview the student, interact. What has been the reception so far?
Very good question. So, in terms of our present here, my colleague Magdalene and I, we just arrived this weekend. Since we
I mean this weekend. This is Monday morning.
Well, last weekend.
Last weekend.
Yes, last weekend.
Have you been out partying on the weekend?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Come
We
on.
just got here.
It can't be all work. Well, in the meantime, you go ahead. Let's see what's happening.
Yes. So we arrived this past weekend. And since then, we actually visited our first location, one of our primary means of getting students, the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College.
CFB,
Yes, we met with quite a bit of students this morning. That's actually where we are coming from currently. And, the reception from the students, the lead person at the Technical Division campus, Ms. Mills, who actually had her students listen to our presentation, very receptive. She explained it was very informative. So the reception on a whole has been great since we arrived. And I actually have been working with the Minister of Education, the Human Resources Department prior to my arrival. Okay. Actually, just this June of last year when we had graduation, the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Mr. Jeffrey, was actually visiting and attended our graduation along with Ms. Jamela Adams, your HR Human Resources manager. So we have a nice partnership with them. So in terms of reception, for them to be able to come up in June and see the students cross the stage, see how big it is of a ceremony, nice turnout, the relationship that we have established all together is strong and lasting. So the reception, just visiting the schools, reaching out to counselors and principal to get appointments for them to come in, has always and will, I hope, continue to be great.
So are you offering scholarships to the top tier academic students, or how does it work?
So I'm happy you asked about that, and that is why I wanted to mention the fact that we have such a long-lasting relationship with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as the Nevis Island Administration.
Beautiful.
We do scholarship not based on academics only. We also do scholarship based on need at the institution. So at Monroe University, we are happy to know that we can help students who actually need grants, even if their grades are not A students.
Academic?
Right. So there are two types of students, and the articulation agreement that we have established is to help all citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. They would receive funding from the local government, and they would receive funding from the college because of that partnership that we have with the institution. So scholarship academically as well as need-based, we are happy to help the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis.
I'm happy to hear that. But this particular topic is funny because at 3 o'clock this morning,
yes,
I was up writing a song for a junior calypsonian. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay. So may I have to bring up to date. Here's what I wrote for her because her mother is a calypsonian. She sang at my show last weekend. But I wrote the song for her daughter. And it says, everybody wants their children to excel academically with 9 or 10 distinctions and a doctorate from university. Without exception, there is the expectation. Anything short of that is a letdown. And the chorus goes, we talk about the parents,
correct,
they don't boast if you leave school as a plumber, a mechanic, AC technician, or a carpenter, landscaper, even a baker. They will tell you flat, they didn't send you to school for that, right? Because we want our kids to be like top tier university, doctorate, etc. I just came up with this morning because she needs a song to sing next year. But it dovetails into the topic. You're not only targeting top tier academically inclined students, but based on the needs of the university, et cetera, because vocational skills are not really seen as, but I think they play a very vital role in our overall human development.
Of course.
I agree. I totally agree. Sometimes I tell students that you may not be always at the top of your class, but I am sure that there's something that you can do better than that student who is getting all A's. A lot of the times we forget to remember that even I make the joke all the time. Me, myself, I'm working in a more administrative role. If I have a leak, if my toilet needs fixing,
You need a plumber.
I can't fix it myself.
You can't fix it.
And I have to pay what he charges.
And the mechanic is a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So at the end of the day, it is all of those roles are important in order for us to have a great community and to have a good functioning society. So Monroe University does not offer more of the trade schools options such as mechanic, plumbing, and so forth. But whenever I find people that have those type of skills,
You can place them?
I can always encourage them perhaps to do maybe an associate in business management because
Exactly.
that would give them the skills they need to function, operate and operate a business. Because as I tell you, they're creating their own schedule, they're creating their own rates, and having that business background, even just the business law that they'll have to do as a part of the business administration management program, it's going to help them in the end in terms of operating a good business.
Okay. And you will be the primary recruiter. Let's hear from you.
Yes, yeah. I think something that stood out to me in what you were both talking about is oftentimes in high school, sometimes students aren't maybe given the resources, or you're at a very young place in your life, right? That maybe your grades aren't as on par as you'd like them to be. What I really love about Monroe is you are coming to a place where every single person who's on that campus, Kimara and myself included, care so deeply about our students that we have so many different resources in place for you, including, which all is covered under the cost of tuition. So you think about free tutoring opportunities. We have a tutorer in place for every single class that we have. And if there's not someone in place, we will create a role for that person. So students are able to get that extra support and help. Our professors are super helpful in holding office hours, making sure we're getting questions answered. We also have mental health resources on campus. If you, yes, are struggling a little bit, it could be a big transition. Coming to college for the first time, maybe
adjustments.
If you, are choosing to come to New York, that perhaps it's your first time living away from home.
You were all rosy cheek when you spoke about New York.
Yes. Well, I mean, that is
it can be
my
very
bread and
overwhelming.
butter,
I've spent some time in New York back in the day, etc. I used to live in Cape Cod, so back and forth.
Okay.
And all that. But apart from the environment on the college, I had a question which I just taught myself all about. How did you feel the answers or the question about tuition?
Well, as it relates to tuition, there are different levels, meaning different costs associated with our different campuses. In terms of students who are wanting to study in New York, of course, that travel abroad, that away from home experience is going to be a little bit more than someone who, let's say, want to study in the region at our St. Lucia campus.
Oh, we have that?
Yes, we have a St. Lucia campus.
So you're so close to the mangoes.
Right?
Okay. So we stay close to the mangoes and the guavas and the sugar cane. You don't have to travel that far. You know what I mean? You can get to the steam fish and stuff. Okay.
Yes.
And it's still a different cost for those who want to stay home with their families, continue to work full time, and study online.
Okay.
So all three locations have three different price point, but what remains constant and what is common with all the different locations and the cost is that you can get assistance through the articulation agreement that we have with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. You can be recognized for your academic achievements and get scholarships as well. You can ask for need-based scholarship where you may have some of the funds and you may just need a little bit of help. We look at each student on an individual basis.
And you try to craft the best way
Correct.
forward for them. Here's a question for you, both from the public.
Yes.
It was directed to management upstairs. She's put it down. She says, I would like the host to ask questions about the below topics so the audience can get a good overview of the university.
Love it.
Right?
Okay.
Also included in the university website below, we have to give that. And the warmest regards says, they need to know about the college ranking.
Okay.
That's
yes.
one. The degree programs, athletics, student life, campus otherwise, application process, and scholarships or aids.
Okay. So we
I'm
actually...
going to give you this so you can refer to it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right. Thank you. So we are actually talking about the scholarship and aid as we speak. We discussed the articulation agreements with the government. The application is open from January through March of each year. So in 2 months' time, make your way up to the Human Resources Department
At CFB?
government headquarters.
Oh, okay.
At government headquarters in order to apply for that scholarship at the Human Resources Department. Again, they will make decisions probably in the summertime if you're wanting to start in September, January of the next year, or April of the next year. So you want to do that. Again, need-based, you just reach out while you're doing the application process. We'll see how we can help you. Academics, you got good grades, you get good results, send that to us. We'll see where you fit in along the spectrum of all of our applicants to give you that type of aid. In terms of the student life, Madeline was just touching on that. I'll just have her expand a little bit more on that.
Yes, yeah. I would say if there's a word I would use to describe student life at Monroe in both our St. Lucia campus and New York. It's very lively. There's always something going on. We have a list of activities that we give our students at the beginning of the year so they can schedule themselves and know, oh, if I want to go and be a part of this certain event on a day, they can schedule that out for themselves. I can kind of touch on athletics a little bit too. So we do offer, specifically on our New Rochelle campus in New York, we have a Division I athletics program. So if you are an athlete, if you are a talented athlete, we are looking for you. So we offer many different sports, including volleyball, basketball. We have soccer/football. We have an American football team, a lot of different sports that you can get involved with. And then we also have many different clubs. Clubs are one of the things that really are the heart and soul of our campus. So if you are interested in really anything, maybe political science, maybe you're a talented artist, maybe you're into drama and theater, something like that, we really do have
those programs,
a different club for everybody. Yeah.
And in terms of athletics, it is important to know that the Monroe Mustangs are Division I. We have top football, soccer, basketball teams competing.
Have they won anything?
Yes, of course.
Yes, they are pretty good.
Yes, we have
Monroe Mustangs.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is Division I. We have one of the largest athletic programs, the most athletes on a campus in the New York area.
Okay.
Right.
So have you addressed all the questions there from the guests?
We just need to touch on the college ranking and degree programs. So I'm going to do that really briefly in terms of college ranking. So we are, according to the U.S. World and News Report, we are ranked number 1 when it comes to top performers on social mobility.
Number 1.
Yes.
And number 4, when it comes to best value schools, we're talking about getting the best value for your school. Again, number 64 in regional universities in the north. These are all because of the fact that we do such a good job in terms of supporting our students from the time they actually start to the time they actually graduate. We have one of the highest graduation rates when it comes to students graduating on time with their degree. So when they start, not only do they have that support, they actually make it to the finish line. It's a big deal for us to know that our students are supported and they graduate with their degree. Now, in terms of the different degree programs, I'm going to have Ms. Madeline mention a few of them, and then I'll do the same.
Yes, yep. So some of our main degree programs, I'll speak mainly about our undergraduate programs. We have both associate degree offerings and bachelor degree offerings in a few different areas. So you can choose from allied health professions, business and accounting, information technology, so if you're interested in computer science. We have a criminal justice program, a human services program. We also have an education program where we're able to offer K through 12 licensure and I believe pre-K.
Yes.
As well. We also have a nursing program, which now is actually available to all students. Previously, it was only available to our American students, but now we are able to open it up to all international students as well, which is very exciting. We have a hospitality management program, and finally, our Culinary Institute of New York is a award-winning program that actually competes. And Kimara might want to expand on this a little bit, but all of them are very hands-on.
Yes.
So you're able to get that knowledge and experience during your time taking your classes.
Yes.
Okay. Got about 7 minutes before we break for the midday newscast, but I want to get this question in and out of the way.
Okay.
And then you can continue with all these selling points.
Yes,
Do
of
we
course.
have any students at Monroe currently from St. Kitts and Nevis?
Of course, we do. We most definitely do. We actually have more than 60 students that are benefiting from the articulation agreement that we have with the government of St. Kitts. So that's 60 students, whether they're online or in New York. And then we probably have another 30 students who are not benefiting for some reason. They're basically maybe just getting something from the college itself, or they're using their own personal funds to finance their education.
I have a friend in New York, and she's listening, was Mary Donalds. Her granddaughter was trying to figure out which college to go to, which college, and, she's in the New York area.
Yes.
Went all around the world, etc. Rosemary, let me know which college that she decided on, because Monroe sounds good to me. Okay? So send me a text. Let me know which college she went to, and we'll take it from there, okay? In the meantime, the floor is yours.
Yes, so to continue on to a list of the degree programs that we have to offer, I just want to mention again that the university does have the New York, which has the Bronx and New Rochelle campuses, where we have the dormant students, the students living in housing in New Rochelle. We also have the St. Lucia, and we also have the online campus. So a lot of the folks are participating in online degree programs. Many of them are doing undergraduate degrees, as Madeline listed out the various degree programs, but a lot of them are also doing master's degree programs as well. So the master's degree program at Monroe University, once you have earned your bachelor degree, you generally have about 1 year and 4 months or so. And once you enroll for that period of time, you can earn your master's degree. Some of those masters would include accounting. It would also include just the general business administration. We have computer science. We have criminal justice. We have data science, forensic psychology, healthcare administration, masters of public health administration. We also have masters in public health. We also have different program in public health, data science, and we also have data science as an advanced certificate. A lot of the folks that are coming in who start and finish their bachelor degree because it's only 1 year and 4 months, they automatically enroll in the master's degree program, take advantage of some alumni scholarship because they would have earned that first degree. So here's another way in which we provide aid to students who want to continue on with us. So we do have quite a bit of majors available. And for all of these different areas that we mentioned, you can actually choose a particular area to study. For example, you can do something like a bachelor degree in business management and choose to zoom in or concentrate on human resources.
Okay.
Right, so there are other things that you can do the
Relative fields.
major, right, and pair it with a
Relative
concentration or minor in another area.
For those who may have tuned in late and they're wondering, can you speak to if there are any other interviews to be had shortly? How they can make contact with you? You mentioned the human resources at GH. Share the information once again for those who may have tuned in late. And that person sent that questionnaire. We want to thank you for that, being part of this discussion. So let's hear what you have. We got about 3 minutes, and it's all yours.
Very good. So yes, we are hosting an information session tomorrow evening at the Marriott Hotel at 6 p.m. Again, information session tomorrow evening, Marriott Hotel, 6 p.m. I would like to invite the general public to stop by, engage with us, hear more information about the university, and ask us questions at the end of that interview. The end of that presentation.
Session, yeah.
We also will be going out to all of the high schools on the island of St. Kitts and Nevis, starting as early as this afternoon. So when you see your kids, they are asking you questions, maybe they'll come home and say things, maybe they'll have brochures. Just know that we are in the schools giving them that information so they have it while they're at this age to make decisions later. And those of you who are working, you have free time, we would love to see you at one of our information sessions, whether in tomorrow at Marriott at 6 or Wednesday in Nevis at the Red Cross building in Charlestown. That one would be at 5 p.m.
Okay. My friend responded, one in New York. She says her granddaughter is studying psychology at Morgan State. She's in the third year and is considering continuing in New York after she graduates.
Fantastic.
Whoa.
Maybe we might be a right choice for the master's degree.
Yeah.
There you go. So we want to raise your contact because, you know, she was fishing around as to where to go.
Funding is available.
Funding is available. Listen, Rosemary. And yes, in the third year, he said you should mention the name of the school before you leave, didn't we?
Yes. So again, my name is Kimara Isaac with Monroe University, and we have...
Yep, and my name is Madeline Harvey, also with Monroe University now. Instead of college, we do have that upgrade.
And the website?
And the website, you can visit us at monroecollege.edu. That's MONROECOLLEGE.edu.
Beautiful presentation. You're right on the button of 12 o'clock, where we now must pause for the presentation of the WinFM's Midday Newscast. You were awesome.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much for having us.
All this, you know, I mean, it was
Thank
just
you
awesome.
for having us.
And you got the question from the person, very interesting, very educational, very informative. Give it a chance that you can come again. It will be great because this is very, very rewarding. And thank you for considering coming into WinFM to do this presentation.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome. We now pause for the WinFM's Midday Newscast, and that's Jamsara. He's
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, National Bank, and Carib Brewery.
Why wait for Santa when there's National? This Christmas, St. Kitts Davis and Gwillan National Bank has just the right loan solution for you. Get up to $100,000 unsecured for all your holiday shopping needs, new furniture or carnival expenses with low interest rates, quick approval, and flexible terms. And that's not all. You can drive into the holidays with National. Whether you're buying a new or pre-owned vehicle, National has a loan for you. Get up to $160,000 with low rates, special discounts, and little to no input. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with National Bank. Apply online at www.sknanb.com. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the Win FM headline news, I am Yulana Weeks, featuring locally.
St. Lucia's Mrs. Jadia Jean-Pierre Emmanuel to feature at Nevis Reformation Party Convention. Laparoscopic surgery performed live at JNF. St. Kitts receives positive feedback.
The details and more straight ahead.
Medical professionals from across the Caribbean and experts from the United Kingdom gathered in St. Kitts on November 14 and 15 for the Caribbean Society of Endoscopic Surgeons' 12th annual scientific meeting at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. On day one of the conference, keyhole surgeries were conducted on a live stream from the Joseph and France General Hospital, signaling a revolutionary advancement in the Federation's health sector. Dr. Jensen Morton, Director of Health Institutions in the Ministry of Health, told Win FM that the forum consisted of a grouping of surgeons who do endoscopic or laparoscopic surgical procedures so that they could always stay on top of the latest trends, modern trends, best equipment, latest equipment, new techniques, and who are always in constant communication, ensuring that no territory is left behind. According to Dr. Morton, in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Ministry of Health has been forging ahead to improve its delivery of surgical procedures to decrease the risks of complications. Hence the reason for the push towards laparoscopic surgery.
This year, there was a genuine push here in St. Kitts to really perform surgical procedures laparoscopically. So to explain, when you're doing an open surgery, that's the old school technique. That is when you actually cut down someone, you splay apart the areas that you cut down, and you look actually inside the area that you've cut to do whatever repairs. Then you have to stitch back all of the areas that you cut down. That is called an open surgical technique. Those techniques, whilst you have a superior visualization and you can actually touch and feel around, it has some big issues. One of them being the amount of damage that you do to the tissue is increased. So the overall amount of inflammation is increased. The total healing time is greatly prolonged. The risk of infection is greatly increased. The risk of complications is also increased when you do an open technique. Of course, we've come up with our modern ways of being as efficient and safe as possible. But the reality of the situation is that all of those things are increased, even if it's a 1% chance, there is that particular chance.
Dr. Morton further explained that the scars from open surgeries tend to be large and therefore new techniques have been developed to address that concern. Laparoscopy, he said, has become the gold standard method for multiple surgical procedures.
The other thing is that when you do the open surgeries, you end up with a very large abdominal scar, sometimes the largest figuring abdominal scar. So laparoscopic surgery, it's been around since the 80s and it's been constantly developed, redeveloped, improved to the point in which it is now the official gold standard way of doing a long list of surgical procedures. Of course, and if you get something like riddled with gunshots and we don't have any choice, we have to search a room, we have to do open. Or if there's a very complicated picture going on, then yeah, we have to do open. But for certain things like gallbladder removal, hernia repair, to some extent even appendectomies, and quite a number of things, you can actually use laparoscopic techniques and it's superior.
Laparoscopy is a surgical procedure using a small camera and small incisions in the abdomen rather than bursting down a person. The surgical procedures conducted at JNF were streamed live through the courtesies of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. Dr. Morton said participants were pleased with the quality of the live stream and the hospitality given to them.
We would have set up the operating theaters with all of the technology. SKNAS came into play, especially Charlie John. He came down to specifically do it. And all of them had video cameras within them, such that all of the patrons, if you were a medical professional and you uploaded your credentials to the website and you paid a fee, you were able to log on and you were able to see the surgeries taking place in real time. And they did demonstrations of, to my knowledge, 4 surgical techniques. It could have been more. Remember, I told you I didn't go to both days. And the experts came in, particular patients, they were found that had the issues that needed surgical correction. They were thoroughly examined, thoroughly prepared long in advance. And it was all of these procedures. Their names were withheld. Their faces were never shown. All that you got to see was when you were already inside, you got to then see the procedure with regards to the laparoscopic procedure. And the surgeons were able to do the procedure and explain what they were doing as they were doing it, explaining the techniques, explaining what new thing they were using. And it was actually very, very good. It was a good learning experience. It was very interesting. And that was the main composition of the conference. They praised us extensively, saying that they'd never been to a place that, number one, was that welcoming. Number two, they'd never been to a conference in which the technology was that up to date. So I have to give a lot of thanks to Charlie Jung. I'm not a tech person. I don't know what he did our setup to make it run so smoothly, but they said that's the best they ever dealt with, so I have to give him his chops.
Apart from the live surgery demonstrations, Regional distributors for equipment in laparoscopy were also at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort and had multiple pieces of equipment on display and shared knowledge and insights about the price and reliability of equipment, etc. An award ceremony was held on Friday night, November 15. Among the awardees were notable faces in the surgical fields in St. Kitts, persons who assisted with the organizing of the conference, and renowned individuals within the Caribbean Society of Endoscopic Surgeons. Delegates and supporters of the Nevis Reformation Party NRP will gather at the Occasions Entertainment Center on November 24, 2024 for the People's National Convention. WinFM spoke with Mr. Carlisle Powell, NRP chairman, on Monday morning, November 18, who said the guiding theme of the convention will be navigating challenges, restoring hope, preparing for governance. The NRP convention will be a two-part affair. The convention's first session will be for party business, while the second session will be an open forum for the general public. The first session will accommodate only party members, where there will be reports from the party's treasurer and the president, the movement of resolution for amendments to the party's constitution, and then the election of officers. According to Powell, the second session is open to the public, where fallen stalwarts of the party will be memorialized and convention speakers will take the stage. Some of the big names expected to speak are NRP's leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, and keynote speaker, Ms. J.D. Jean-Pierre Emmanuel from St. Lucia.
The public session will start at 5 p.m. And that is a session which will be open to, as it said, the public. And it will see opening remarks. We'll have a moment's silence to mark those persons associated and affiliated with NRP who left us to transition during the year. Then we'll have roll call of the delegates. We'll have congratulatory greetings from groups overseas. And then we'll have fraternal greetings from political parties within the region. We'll have our featured speaker, who is attorney J.D. Jean-Pierre Emmanuel from St. Lucia. And then we'll have presentations of memorial gifts to the family members of four persons who served the party well and who transitioned. And those persons are Mr. Rowan Liebert, Mr. Gilbert Phillip, Mrs. Eunice Liebert, and Mr. Hastings Daniel. And then the conference will close with remarks from the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge.
Known as a compelling orator, attorney J.D. Jean-Pierre Emmanuel is expected to deliver a powerful and inspiring speech at the convention.
She came up through the ranks of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and from a youth representative all the way up, served Mr. Dr. Anthony as communications specialist. And then she went off and became trained as an attorney. And she is now a practicing attorney in St. Lucia. Well, JD is somebody who is pretty well known in political circles in St. Lucia. She, as a matter of fact, addressed the St. Lucia Labour Party conference, which was recently held. Is a very dynamic speaker. And the persons who attend the conference and those who listen online will be in for a treat.
Daniel Hodge, on the other hand, is expected to punch at the burning issues and share the party's vision for the people of Nevis. Conventions give political parties the chance to spotlight up-and-coming politicians or candidates as they prepare for campaigns ahead of an election.
Regionally,
this morning it's a beautiful Sunday morning.
More than 100 people, their jerseys emboldened with their message, as men and boys, supported by women and girls, marched from the Brian Lara Promenade to the Queen's Park Savannah. The Men of Purpose event also garnered regional support from countries like Grenada, Anguilla, and St. Kitts and Nevis. It was done in partnership with the government And the absence of ministers at the event, 2 of whom were on the flyer, didn't go unnoticed by President of the Fathers Association, Rondell Fields.
The fact that we have ministers from all over the region and none from Trinidad says something. I don't need to say nothing again. The fact that they are not here, the fact that they are not present, the fact that they are not telling men that you are a valuable part of society. You're surprised you see the little young boy who don't understand his value or purpose picking up a gun and following a gang leader who giving him a sneakers and telling him he love him. You're surprised? When our leaders ourselves can't make themselves present to show men and boys. We have the Spanish community here as well. They're not here. What am I to do? Stay silent and say nothing?
According to Fields, some of the delegates were even invited by the ministers. Permanent secretaries were present, and while Fields says he appreciates their attendance, he is of the view that the event provided a platform for ministers to make a positive impact on males, including those that are young and impressionable.
Not even a member of parliament, but they will see us next year, you know. When they call for men to come to the ballot box, they will hear us speak next year. You understand? Because that is when we seem to have value. That is when we seem to have importance.
TV6 News reached out to Gender Affairs Minister Ayanna Webster Roy, who was named as a speaker at the event. She tells us Fields was made aware from day one that she would not be able to attend, as she had a prior engagement in her constituency of Tobago East. Despite knowing that, she says he still proceeded to place her name on the flyer. Webster Roy is set to return to Trinidad from Tobago on Sunday night. We are awaiting a response from Energy Minister Stuart Young. Minister of Gender Affairs in Grenada, Glory Ann Thomas, calls the initiative an important one for bringing awareness and sensitization to the public. She says men are often left behind.
We criticize them, and we oftentimes think that they're not taking their responsibilities seriously. But I believe that the support that men need to be all that they could be, at times are not given to them.
Prime Minister
men face a lot of barriers.
As the country looks ahead to International Men's Day on November 19th, Fields believes the vulnerability of men is seldom highlighted. He says there is a desire to fix men, but not to help them.
So I am proud of the men who have come out today to show that we are men and to show that we love our society and we need assistance too, we need help too, we need love too, we need validating too.
Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
Internationally,
the US President Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to use American long-range missiles to strike targets deep inside Russia.
Until now, Mr. Biden has been reluctant to give permission because of concerns about the conflict escalating. Our correspondent David Willis reports now from Washington.
The aftermath of the latest missile attack on Ukraine, Russia's largest in months. This, the city of Sumy, near the Russian border, after a missile hit a residential area, killing 10 people and injuring many more. As President Biden arrived in Rio for the G20 summit, reports emerged of new US measures to help Ukraine defend itself. Authorization from the outgoing leader for the use of long-range, American-made guided missiles capable of striking deep into Russian territory. Potentially a significant development in the conflict, and one President Zelensky has been calling for months.
Today, many in the media say that we have received permission to take appropriate actions. But strikes are not made with words. Such things are not announced. The missiles will speak for themselves, definitely.
President Biden's decision followed the arrival last month of around 10,000 North Korean special forces sent to help Russia reclaim territory lost to Ukraine in the Kursk region of eastern Russia. Known as ATACMS, these U.S. Army tactical missile systems have a range of almost 200 miles and are difficult to intercept because they travel at such high speeds. President Biden is keen to do all he can to help Ukraine in the little time he has left in office. He'd resisted authorizing the use of American long-range missiles up to now for fear of antagonizing Russia. But with winter approaching and Russia advancing, retaining territory taken in the east could provide Ukraine with a bargaining chip in the event of future peace talks. David Willis, BBC News, Washington.
We can go live to Ukraine now, speak to our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams, who joins us from Dnipro in the east of the country. Paul, how could these American missiles change the course of the war?
Well, I think we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. Will they change the course of the war? Probably not, but they are a significant new development, probably one of the most significant changes in US policy in the last year or so. Initially, we understand they are going to be used only in the Kursk region. That is the area inside Russia that Ukrainian forces have held since August. And I think it's an indication that Washington is happy to allow or to assist Ukraine to hold on to that territory, possibly ahead of peace negotiations sometime next year. What the attackers can do is that they can attack targets deep inside Russia, the kind of logistics and support facilities that the Russians need to mount an effective counteroffensive in Kursk. It will probably complicate their efforts and complicate the use of the North Korean troops too, because this is a pretty fearsome weapon capable of doing a great deal of damage. And so I think the hope is that this will make it possible for the Ukrainians to cling on there in Kursk for the time being. The Ukrainians obviously hope that they will be able to use it more widely in the future, perhaps in other parts of the eastern front line. But it's worth bearing in mind that the Ukrainians don't have a huge number of these missiles, so they're going to have to use what they have pretty carefully. And the other thing that Pentagon officials have been pointing out for weeks now is that the Russian planes that carry the bombs, the glide bombs that do so much damage to the Ukrainian front line, those aircraft are now based well outside the range of the attackers, even further inside Russia. So it's unlikely that it'll have an effect on that side of the military campaign.
Paul, it's coming up to 3 years now since the start of this conflict. For people there where you are who are living on the ground, living through this day by day, how might this change from America change their mood?
Yeah, it's almost 1,000 days. It'll be 1,000 days tomorrow since the full-scale invasion. We had a pretty grim series of reminders yesterday of what Russia is capable of, as many as 20 people killed in the course of the day. And so, in one sense, you know, the grim realities of this war are ever present. You know, the kind of technical, theoretical possibility of a new weapon system to change the course of the war feels probably to most Ukrainians like a rather distant prospect. But certainly in Kiev, in government circles and military experts that we've spoken to, they feel that while this is unlikely to, you know, to kind of somehow miraculously unlock a Ukrainian victory, it will restore some balance. It'll make life more difficult for Vladimir Putin, and it'll enable the Ukrainians to plan their efforts with a bit more confidence. So it is going to be a big morale boost. It's something that they've been wanting for a very, very long time. But I don't think anyone here is kidding themselves that somehow the war has just got a little shorter.
Paul Adams in Ukraine, thank you very much indeed. And this issue likely to dominate big international talks which are taking place today, Sal.
Absolutely right, John, because Sir Keir Starmer says shoring up support for Ukraine will be at the top of his agenda at the G20 summit of world leaders in Brazil. Our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman, joins us now to talk about this. So, morning, Henry. What will the Prime Minister be hoping for?
Morning, Sally. Well, Keir Starmer made that comment you referenced about shoring up support for Ukraine at the start of his flight to Brazil, and then midway through his journey to Brazil, the news broke of that US change of policy on missiles you were just discussing, which we are expecting the UK to follow suit on, although we haven't had any formal comment yet. And clearly that means Ukraine is even more at the centre of this summit's agenda. Remember, this is the last major summit that will take place before Donald Trump becomes US president. He perhaps has a little more mercurial, shall we say, approach to Ukraine and to this war. So Keir Starmer will be trying to corral like-minded leaders together to ensure Ukraine has what it needs at the start of this winter. But it's not just Ukraine on his agenda. He's also going to hold a meeting with Xi Jinping, the leader of China. Now, what is especially significant about that is that Keir Starmer will be the first Prime Minister since Theresa May, way back in January 2018, met Xi Jinping. I mean, we've had 5 prime ministers here in the UK since then. And among those 5 prime ministers, policy has hardened towards China bit by bit over Hong Kong, over Taiwan, over other human rights issues. Keir Starmer's view is that he can have a serious and pragmatic discussion with Xi Jinping. China is, after all, still the UK's 5th biggest trading partner. So an awful lot of geopolitics for this still relatively new prime minister.
A super typhoon Manyi, which smashed into the Philippines last week, has now weakened to a severe tropical storm. The weather system left 8 people dead and forced nearly 700,000 people from their homes. It's the 6th typhoon to hit the country in a month. And as Barnaby Lowe reports from Manila, resources are starting to get stretched.
Super Typhoon Manyi's powerful winds sent waves of up to 3 meters high crashing onto coastlines. When it made landfall over the weekend, the storm blew roofs off, uprooted trees, and brought down power lines. And when the onslaught was over, parts of the Philippines' most populous island, Luzon, was in ruins. But President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says it didn't turn out to be as bad as feared. Despite the devastation, most people who were in Manyi's path are safe. He commended local officials for early evacuation efforts, even as they were struggling to cope with the impact of 5 consecutive storms.
I'm sure that they are exhausted. I am sure that they continue to do and work as hard as they can.
Many of those on the edge of the path of the typhoon also decided it was best to avoid any risk.
Super Typhoon Manyi spared the capital, Manila, but officials evacuated hundreds of people from their homes to shelters like this as a precaution.
Evacuees say they didn't need convincing.
We've had experiences before where tall waves destroyed our homes.
But it's been barely a month since Tropical Storm Trami and Super Typhoon Kongray killed more than 150 people. And 4 typhoons, including Manyi, crossed the Philippines one after another in the last 2.5 weeks alone.
Well, it's definitely strained the resources because of the parade of storms that passed through the country. But we are really trying our best, and thank God we still have the resources and the funds.
Those whose lives have been turned upside down by typhoon after typhoon, however, don't only feel strained but drained. And they hope at the very least they'll be able to pick up the pieces before the next deluge. Barnaby Lowe, Al Jazeera, Manila.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, National Bank, and Carry Brewery.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. If you need cash in a flash with now, no need to fuss, leave it to us. When you need cash in a flash, no need to fuss, leave it to us. Hear me now. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming.
When life throws surprises your way, now's here to help. Whether it's for an urgent bill payment, home improvements, or unexpected health expenses, or even that last-minute holiday trip. With Now, you get cash in a flash, approved in just 24 hours.
Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now.
A loan product powered by National Bank.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Days are just around the corner this December, but why wait? Come now to Hosford's. Get pre-approved credit today for the biggest VAT days on December 13th and 21st. That's right! Visit Hosford's Building and Neva Centres, Furniture and Appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, and even Hosford's Auto Sales to get pre-approved credit for all your VAT day dreams. Want a brand new living room set? Need a brand new stove? Or maybe you're eyeing a shiny new car. Get in now to lock in pre-approved on our lowest interest rates ever on brand new vehicles. Just make your way to any Hosford's location, create your VAT day wish list, and we'll handle the credit check. Then come back in December and get everything you picked out with your pre-approved credit. Hosford's is here to make VAT days easy and exciting. Pre-approved credit now for VAT days in December. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Hosford's today for all the details.
Ready to bring fresh color and style into your home? It's the Color and Style Savings Event at Hosford Building and Neva Centers. Right now, get 25% off all paints and tiles store-wide. Transform any room with vibrant paints or refresh your floors with stunning tiles. And with 25% off, there's no better time to give your space that beautiful upgrade. So head to Hosford's Building and Neva Centers and make your dream look a reality with 25% off all paints and tiles for a limited time only. Hurry in and paint, tile, and save today at Hosford's. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, we're back. And to our viewers, our listeners, and all the folks out there, hope your day is progressing most wonderfully. Let me say, wonderfully. Okay, you know, one of those things with the tongue that go here and there. So my name is Socrates, and I'm in the seat today here at Win FM. We had a most wonderful morning in terms of the interview. We had to, obviously, recruiting folks from Monroe College, now Monroe University. And they got here over the weekend, stopped by the radio station to discuss what they'll be doing in terms of trying to recruit students for their university program. I think it went rather well. And for those who would have missed it, at some point in time, I think they will be rebroadcasting it. It was most wonderful, educational and informative. So, what do we have now? It's 12:37. We're in the PM. Lots of items were covered in the newscast. I was next door talking to Jamson, missed a thing or two, but we're here now into the second half. And we started playing the calypso from the tent earlier today. The tents have been out, both legends and proud sounds. We've had some excerpts in some of the calypsos, some of the feedback, etc. Jamson is kind of busy at the moment. If not, we'll play one or two from what we had over the weekend. I would say that the offerings of the Legends 10 were not as many, but we had a good turnout and we had two good shows. The last one was at the food court. And folks came there complaining. They came after 10:30 and they only heard about two calypsonians. We start at 8. You need to be there in time to get the songs. Now, I'm being asked as to when is the next tent. I know it's going to be on Friday. Trying to pin down a venue as for that. So as I get the information, I will share it. So all the folks are asking, when is the next tent, where's the next tent? You'll have that information as soon as possible. Once it's set tuned to Win FM 98.9, you will hear it here first. So Jamster, what's up? Oh, what's happening over there with you? So the song you were playing earlier, before we went, yes, it was Ijo. He's not a newcomer, but he's been around for a while. So the folks out there who remember him, and for those who don't know anything about him, we like to play a bit of Ijo's song. It's called A Change of Course. If you have it, let's have it. Okay, he's going to go take the tent recording or the studio recording. He's trying to find the studio recording. Sometimes the tent give you a different feedback, and you get the feel of the audience, etc. It's different in terms of the quality of the recording, but if you've got the studio recording, we can deal with that. And then we have Legacy. She had two very good presentations on both nights, to the point that one of the Calypso pundits was saying that because of the nature of the song, she shouldn't move around that much, etc. But she's got some spunk. She's the one who sent me the verse this morning about school bus, the bus fare going up, but it was not audible enough to be played. But if you can get a sampling of those songs out to the public who didn't attend the tents, naturally they will want to come to the other ones. We may be in the rural area on Friday. If not, we'll be here in the Bastia area. Who knows? We will know by the end of the day. So the tents have been off. I think God Masters would have their second season. I think I'm hearing it. Okay, this is Ijo. One call, A Change of Course. And the lines are open.
Crime symposium after crime symposium on the escalation of crime in our nation. Conversation on the radio stations addressing the question to where the guns coming from. The former police commissioner said the guns are coming through a legal port. Others say it's the open borders to which the gun runners resort. Others say the dismantlement of the peace program is what brought the gunplay What's amid this madness? I stress, and they stress more. With all the advisors providing no answers, others continue to mourn. What is very strange, we seem to have changed, not for the better, but for the worse. But if we are to recover from this drama, yes, we have got to change our course. The PM declared that from every citizen, cooperation is needed to fight the crime rate. Don't be afraid to call the police hotlines. Those with information, please don't hesitate. PM should consider that he has 24/7 police protection. While informers get gunned down by those that they inform on. Talking to the police would be dangerous, but clearly we don't know who to trust. What's amid this madness? I stress, I distress more.
We go phone lines. Go to caller you live on Voices.
Good day, Socrates.
Good afternoon. How was your weekend? Talk to me.
Very good, very good. Thank God for it. Very good. Mixture with some sadness as well, because I had a family member who died a year ago, but his ashes was put to rest Sunday gone. So.
Okay, my condolences.
It was a bit mixture. Yes. It was a mixture of good and sadness.
Okay.
Yes. But anyway, Socrates, what I can tell you, right, is that bus Figano.
Yes,
from today. Now, the thing is that we haven't seen the worst of things. And I'm not going to be saying nothing new. The same principle always involved, you know. And like I tell you the last time, doesn't matter what the Prime Minister do in providing hospitals and that sort of stuff. I believe those things supposed to be provided by the private sector, because this is the biblical way to go. I believe all of these infrastructures are supposed to be provided by the private sector, because this is the biblical way to go, according to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, we are living in a system that is anti-biblical, anti-scriptural, and because of that, the government is providing all of these infrastructure to our harm and detriment and peril.
Okay.
No. As much as the people would love to have the best of health care, the best of this, the best of that, like I have said to you the last time we spoke, the first thing, the most important thing that are on people's mind is the economy, the cost of living. Whether you could afford to eat, could afford to feed your children, buy the medicines, buy the school clothes, uniforms, textbooks, etc. People are mostly concerned about the daily struggles in life in being able to keep up with the cost of living.
Yep.
No matter how good a hospital and roads and other infrastructures you provide, those are not the number one things on people's table. The economy is. You remember during Clinton time, you know what was the slogan? You remember?
The economy is stupid.
It is the economy is stupid. And during this last election gone, it was the economy. All other things came second place. Not that they were not important. They were very important, but the economy is what comes first. Because the worse the economy does, the worse it is for poor people, and the quicker people die. Because in a bad economy, the debt rate increases. And the worse it is, the more the debt rate increases.
Okay.
Because that means people are having harder life, especially the poor people. And mothers, single mothers, have it the worst of all. Now, I say all of that to say this. The Prime Minister, again, but this time was on Win FM, on Saturday.
Yep.
And he's speaking of all the things he planned to do. And I hear wondering to myself, because I would have liked to call him too, but they didn't take any calls.
Okay.
And I hear, and I hear saying to myself, where the hell are you going to get all the money to provide these things, but not just provide them, but maintaining them? Because we don't forget about the maintenance part. You see, madam, we always forget about the maintenance, and that is where the most money going to come in. And where is he going to get all of this money to even seemingly look like these things are running properly? Because it takes a lot of money to run things properly as well. So it ain't just the building of these things. You got to get money for proper maintenance, proper running, and so on.
Do you know there's a housing levy?
Hello?
Do you know that there's a housing levy that people pay into from the salaries?
Yes, of course. Of course. But not only that, but the more expenses the government gets itself into, is the higher the levies and all other government taxes and fees going to sooner or later have to rise. And
So do you anticipate an increase in taxation for the next budget?
Sooner, well, I don't know, but it's going to sooner or later happen. Because, hold on, you remember during Douglas' time, he during the budget time, he decreased, take off some taxes, and then next year he put them back on again.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it might have even been worse when he put them back on, maybe. Well, so because you have to find the money. Let's say the dance had to pay for the music.
The dance have be able to pay for the lights.
The lights and everything, the dance got to pay for them. And so therefore, all the expense you plan to do as a government, sooner or later you have to raise the government taxes and fees, making life even harder.
Okay.
Okay?
What's your take on the removal of personal income tax years ago?
Hello? Repeat?
What's your take on the removal of personal income tax years ago?
Well,
how do you think it affects the economy?
More than once, and Win FM, I have commended that move very highly. Because when the tax was taken off, the personal income tax was taken off, you had an increase, for example, in
fiscal activities.
Small businesses.
Fiscal activities.
Fiscal activity, the economy grew.
Mm-hmm.
People's standard of living rose. I remember people were, for example, people were able to put in more flush toilet in their homes. And because of that, the bed and the tissues became a lot cleaner.
Okay.
You know, because people were using them for the toilet.
Okay.
So I saw all kind of improvements with the finishing away of the personal income tax.
But there are now discussions in certain quarters that will be reinstituted.
Well, it's going to have to be. Because the IMF already recommended it about 12 years ago.
But here's what. When it was suggested by that administration, Trinidad, Antigua, and other governments across the region say it could not happen. You could not own a country without personal income tax. And they were made to look what?
Go ahead, Socrates, go ahead.
They were made to swallow that because it was done. And as you said, it was a great thing then, even having the impact now. But to reinstate it now, in this current economic environment, it will be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yes. And with all due respect, the finishing with the personal income tax, even though I believe social service levy was a little form of it.
It's a form, but not to the extent, because you have to be,
But not to the extent.
Right.
Not to the extent, but still a sort of a personal income because it was based on your income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But it wasn't to the extent. It wasn't to the great extent. So it was not at the same burden and the economy as to when it was fully in before they took it off. And like I said, because that the economy took off, small business took on that sort of stuff. But like I tell you, in the past, PAM did make a mistake in that they did not decrease government spending. And because of that, later on in the 80s, they had to add certain taxes. And
They
because
did not
of that,
reduce government spending.
yeah, they did not reduce government spending.
Look at the development of the country at the time.
Hello?
Look at the economic footprint at the time, the development taking place.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
required
because
that.
taking off of the personal income tax.
Uh-huh.
Because the taking off of the personal income tax, development escalated. But later on in the 80s, when they started to add more taxes, because the government did not the government did not decrease its spending, because they too had to find the money to pay for the dance. And because they did not decrease government spending, they end up in the late 80s, the latter half of the 80s, putting on taxes. And that had a very negative effect on the economy.
Well, the wage bill, the wages bill expanded, right?
Yeah,
and every month, monies had to be sent to Nevis.
Repeat?
The wages bill expanded.
Yes.
And once a month, they had to send money to Nevis. This goes back to way back.
Yes, and you had to find the money to replenish. Not only that, the building of schools, the fixing of roads,
so then, how then could government decrease spending and still manage the economy that was growing?
But these things that the government, extra things that the government was doing, like I said, school meal programs, building roads, building school, repairing roads, the healthcare system, that sort of stuff.
They secured some major grants for that. It didn't all come from the local treasury. There were grants that supported that.
All of it, 100% was supported by grants?
No. The school meal program, those were in the initial stage. They got grants for that.
Yeah, they got, but the maintaining of them. Remember, there is also the maintaining, like I said earlier, people forgot the maintaining expenses. The maintaining of them, and if you're going to run them properly, all of that is a lot of expenses, even more than building the infrastructure.
Here's what.
The maintenance is what you have to.
There came a time.
All the while.
There came a time that we were told by this funding agency that because we have become so developed, we no longer qualified for these low-income loans and these grants because we became a developed entity. So you find, you know what I mean, you go to a certain stage, get certain grants, but when you apply after a certain stage in our development, they said, no, you no longer qualify as a, like poor country, whatever the terminology was.
Yeah, I remember all of that. And so therefore now, the government had more expenses to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And because it had more expenses to deal with, because of the maintaining, the increased money had to take for maintaining things and that sort of stuff. They had to, in the end, sooner or later, and in the second half of the 80s, they had to increase taxes.
So are you now saying that today?
Because the amount of expense they had.
Are you now saying today that the reapplying, is that the right word, but reinstating the personal income tax, that would be the right way to go?
No, it was never the right way. The right way to have gone would have been to privatize a lot of what he was doing and get these expenses off his hands. And that would have been the biblical way to go to. Not just privatize, but privatize them properly in a free market, capitalist economy.
We have a number of private.
Them correctly.
There are a number of private entities that invested in the second cruise spear.
In the what?
The second cruise spear.
Uh-huh.
That investment came from the private sector, mainly.
Mm-hmm.
So not all government, but you have to have that partnership. It can't be a balance that only private sector must. You must have that partnership with the private sector and the government.
Government is not a partner with any, but government is a force that tries to bully everybody. Government is not a partner to anybody. Government are who have the big guns and they are the bully to everybody.
Okay.
But so what I'm saying is that the right and proper way to go, because it would to be properly in a free market capitalist model. system economy would have been to privatize them in that kind of context.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying, I'm going to come up quickly. All of this leads to the fact that because we are even delving deeper into government expense with extra government activities that this government wants to do, you think we see anything in bus increases? What's going to come later? In increase in bus fee, government taxes, government fees, and cost of living. It's going to get worse there because government going to soon have to later sooner even add even more taxes continually and carry up government fees more continually. So it's going to get worse. The cost of living is going to get worse, and the poor people is going to suffer the most, especially single mothers, and the debt rate is going to increase as a result.
I don't see the marriage between the increase in bus fares and government managing the country as it is. The operational costs for these vehicles increases, and so the traveling public is expected to pay more from time to time. The question is, their salary do not get increased at the same time. It must be in tandem. For it to work perfectly, you'll never find a harmony.
Yeah, but Socrates, as the cost of living goes up for the bus owners and drivers,
it goes up for everyone at the same time.
Just like the government, as the government cost of doing things goes up, and they have to increase taxes as a result. You as well who have your own businesses, where all of your expenses coming out of what you make from your business. You're living, feeding your children, buying clothes, buying books, taking care of them when they're sick, all sorts of stuff. And it's going up. You too going to have to increase your prices, and then you're going to go to business.
Naturally,
just like how the government does do it. So there is a marriage. Because as Bob Marley said, for every action there's a reaction. Things don't happen in a vacuum.
Anyway, I got your point that you're making. I don't agree with all, but makes for good debate. Okay?
Yes. I know, Socrates. Thank you.
Thanks for your contribution. Pause to give credit to our sponsors once again, and then we'll come back and take on some more calls.
Here are your Horseless Value Mart IGA specials for October 31st through November 13th. Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. IGA or Essential Everyday Microwave Popcorn, just $7.99. Multimeal cereals, just $17.99. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts, $12.99. Essential Everyday Cranberry Juice Cocktails, just $8.99 each. Essential Everyday Shredded and Chunk Cheese, $7.99. Blue Bunny Ice Cream, just $22.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. IGA or Essential Everyday Salad Dressings, $10.99 each. Duncan Hines Cake Mixes, $6.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, $2.99. Meatless pasta is just $5.99. Ensure, $8.99. Colgate toothpaste, $7.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Found the Sound 98.9.
It's a very merry triple cashback grab and win at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Thousands of dollars in cashback coupons are up for grabs this triple cashback season. That's right. Every higher purchase customer gets triple cashback on every FlexPay purchase and a chance to grab thousands of dollars in free groceries with our triple cashback grab and win promotion. Imagine this. Free groceries for a whole year or a stylish 4-piece living room set.
And that's not all.
Every higher purchase customer gets their shot at winning big. Yes, thousands of dollars in cashback coupons for free groceries are up for grabs. It's all happening now at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Stores. Triple cashback grab and win. Great deals, great prices, and amazing furniture and appliances. At Hortford's, where your holiday dreams come true. See store for details.
At 101, we are back with the program. We had a second call of the day. In terms of Gregory, we were discussing the fallout of the raising bus fares, etc. I want to introduce something which is different, probably personal. But do we have anything called quality control in terms of what certain merchants import and sell to the public? There are some shoes outlet downtown that they bring in shoes because you need shoes, and you buy them, but they don't last more than 3 weeks. Don't last more than 3 weeks. And I'm wondering, I go and buy a pair of shoes, and then come back after, go and speak to the management. Look at this. It's falling apart. Oh, go buy Mr. Grant to fix shoes up there. But I'm thinking that is not what you bought the shoes for. To take by Mr. Grant to be fixed. Yeah, no. Well, somebody in the store recommended that because they know that many people go there to have their shoes. They look fancy on the shelves. And you're going to buy them because you want to have quality footwear. 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, for a lot of our drivers who are driving, you have that pedal between the clutch and the thing, there's a hole in his shoe in a very short space of time. I came in town in a pair of shoes a couple of days ago. I had to walk neat. The thing falling off. And I went back and I showed them, what is this? Chris Collins wants to know what size shoes I wear. 12 or 13s. I'm a small man. Jumps to wear 15s, a whole different story. But it's really, really bothering, To say that you have to go overseas, you got a good qualitative pair of shoe. It's really wrong. But you go from one outlet to the other, and you're getting the same old crap. It seems okay. Let me just buy this up for the substandard stuff or factory rejects. Because when you have quality control inspection in these industries, they rate them or they rank them. And what is not of the best quality, they send to the quote-unquote third world countries. And these people, they buy in mass, in volume, in order to bring them to the public. And people need to be aware and start the conversation. It's happening too often. I must admit, when I travel, upon returning, I buy 2 or 3 pair of shoes out there. And easily they last me a year with everyday wear. But it's really hard to know you're going to spend $200 to $50 for a pair of shoes. And then in a matter of weeks, it's separating. And when you go, oh, Mr. Grant, I got a problem with that. I have a problem with that, but it is what it is. But the whole thing about quality control, I don't think there's an agency that you can go to and lodge a complaint. This is repetitive. I'm going here, etc. If that, what just do you have? Go to the next store, and you find they seem to be the same thing, the same offerings. It's just not right, given the fact that people are working hard for what they have. They buy certain items in good faith, and then they fall apart in a very short period of time. You have no redress. You have to go and look for next pair again. I recall some years ago, one of my sons was sent to me for a pair of shoes. Mom sent him to me. I gave him $300 to go and buy the shoes. The man looked at me, looked at the money, and looked at me again. So I said, what's the problem? I was wearing a pair of shoes and it cost $40. Because back then you got, Miss, she used to be in the circus, Laws. I think the Laws she was, with a nice, good quality stuff. So I gave him the $300. Not Miss Laws, if I get a name, he's going to come to me. Miss who again? Before Batter. No. Before Batter. She had a store across Cairn Street also. Miss Hall. At one time she had 3 stores in the circus, one across Cairn Street. You could go in there as a gentleman and dress properly. Suits, quality clothes, shoes. So I had a pair of shoes I bought there from her for $40. Cool, nice, strong shoe. And then this young man, his mother sent him to me to get a pair of shoes. I gave him $300. He look at it, he look at me, he look at it again. So I asked him, what's the problem? He was not happy. I gave him, he wanted to buy a pair for $300, for $500. I'm a hard-working man. I have a pair for hey, by the way, the lines are open, eh? The lines are open. You want to call and interrupt me? Second? Entitlement, the man want a pair cost $500, right? Well, I went Spanish on him, you know. I went Spanish on him. He walk away. Yeah, he mother called me, what you tell him? I said, listen, this is nonsense, man. A pair of shoe back then for $300 would have been something of quality. But the whole thing about the brand shoes and this, and he wanted $500. I'm going to pay cost $40. And he wanted, you know. But it's now ridiculous. 21 days. A pair of shoe bought in those outlets downtown and they're gone. Especially if you're driving. You know. So I came in town a couple of days ago and the shoes gone south on me and I had to walk neat to hometown. But I went to buy another pair. I'm where we know. And I'm looking to see how long it's going to last. So while we're looking at the bus fee going up and what people have to pay for the increase in cost of living, we need to have something in place. I respect when you buy something in good faith, it lasts. It lasts. 662-0989 gets you in the conversation. I don't know, we got about 7 minutes past 1. I'm going to be here until 1:30. So the bus fare thing is a big topic currently. And anybody want to call and give me feedback on that? Let's do it. Or we go back to the Calypso tents. They need a little bit of, marketing. There was a song with a young lady, Lady Legacy. Her performance was awesome. Whether the 10th version or whatever. And let's see who weighs in on any particular topic. But Lady's Legacy was awesome. So was Diva. You know, and somebody said, oh, your Diva still around? Man, what do you mean still around? You know, these guys are still there, veterans, making their contribution. Fancy, he will be part of the 70s Calypso lineup put on by the Lions Club, which I think is a great thing. We need to discuss more of that as the time draws near. We have a caller. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yeah, Socrates, it's me again, eh?
Yes.
I hear nobody calling, so I decided.
I understand that.
Let me take a chance. No, in the last election, it kind of ties in with what I said in my previous call. Now, in America, during the campaigning time, you heard people say, well, you know, the reports was showing that the economy was bouncing back under Biden.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the economy was getting stronger under Biden. Now, first of all, when Biden took over, the inflation was 1 point something. But when Biden took over, it went up to 9.29%.
After he took over?
After he took over, during about a year after in his presidency, it went up to about 9%. And then it came back down, but it never reached down to 2%. It never reached down to 2%. But when he took it over from Trump, it was 1 point something percent. But under Biden, when it came back down from the 9%, it came down to 2 point something percent. And since then, it has been going up a little. So hovering somewhere around 3%. Now, these government stats, even under Trump, they ain't really to be trusted. And I'm going to tell you why. You don't hear from the government stats that the cost of living, the inflation is only, for example, maybe under Trump 1 point something percent. Under Biden, it is 2 point something percent, going up to 3%. And like I said, one time it had reached up to 9%. But at the same time, when they give you these low figures, like I said, 2 point something percent, At the same time, when you go into these supermarkets and that sort of stuff, you see this stuff them raising much more than the law figures that the government things are giving you, that the government stats are giving you. And a lot of people wonder, well, how come these things in the supermarkets and so on, and also gas and so on, how come these things are rising so fast and yet the government stats is so low where inflation is concerned? And a lot of people just tell you, hey, don't believe what your eyes seeing, believe what the government stats are telling you. Well, no, you should believe what your eyes are seeing, because what the government economists them and statisticians and so do, they manipulate the stats to make government look good, to make inflation look low when it is really high, as you just say when you got.
So you said the cost of the items on the shelf are a true reflection of the economy?
The true reflection, right. But let me tell you what the government people do. They have something called the core CPI, and that is what they use to measure inflation. The core CPI that they use,
consumer,
they take out of that calculation the cost of food and the cost of energy, because they want to say, oh, those things are so volatile, you know, they increase so rapidly and that sort of stuff. So they don't count food and they do not count energy.
Okay.
So the government stats do not reflect what you buy in the supermarket, because they are not counted in the core CPI.
That's the consumer price index.
Right, consumer price index, right. So that is why you just, well, in America, and people speaking, that is why they don't see. And I assume that they do see, because what goes in America normally goes on all over the world, including here. And that is why you could go in America and see prices in your supermarket and so going up, but it is not reflected in the government stats. And so when they say, oh, the economy getting stronger on the Biden and so, it was pure nonsense.
Could that be explained by price gouging?
No, it's not explained by, it does not explain price gouging, because in order for something to be price gouging, you have to take some things in consideration. As a matter of fact, the supermarkets and so were actually absorbing a lot of expenses, because the government keep on telling them, oh, inflation coming down, we got it under control, when inflation was actually going up. But because a lot of the supermarket were expecting inflation going down, so they actually absorb a lot of the expense.
Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home, Gregory. Let's bring it home. What I'm saying is that no, the economy was not getting stronger under Biden, and I assume the same thing here. A lot of the time when you see the government stats, they do not reflect what you are buying. So
your energy costs.
Let's forget America for a while. Let's bring it home. Right?
Yes, and absolutely. What I would like done here, home here. What I would like done is that, let's say 1 month, you go and you buy something in the supermarket, and about 3 months, you go back and you buy the same thing. Maybe 4 months after, you go back and buy the same things, and maybe you could do it in another 4 months. That sort of stuff. That is more reflective of the price inflation.
The prices go up here every week or every 2 weeks.
Repeat?
The prices for food items on the shelf, based on my own personal experience, goes up every week or every 2 weeks.
Right, and that is more reflective.
Of the economy?
The true price inflation and the economy than the government stats.
So then, the import bill, or the duties that these merchants pay at the ports are not increased. They don't pay any increases on the same item. They're not increasing taxes, but they take up the prices themselves.
No, but you see, the thing is, remember the merchants are also facing inflation. They're facing
Where?
inflation from outside.
Okay, here's what.
They're facing inflation from inside.
Let me take the next call, right? See if you can call me back on that one. But I have the next call at the moment. Call the 11 voices.
Yes, good day, Socrates.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. The Consumer Affairs Department, I think those are the ones charged with looking into issues like what you mentioned. With
Yes.
shoddy products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've had occasion to use them once, and they did follow up. So,
Do we have? Is that the price control department or just consumer affairs?
No, I'm not sure if they're still located there, but they were located up there by Bladen, the commercial site up there.
Okay. Of the complex.
Yeah, that complex there. I think they're consumer affairs. So, you know, there is some effort to redress complaints like that. I'm not sure if, well, the extent of their involvement, if it includes price controls and those kinds of things. But I would like to say that when it comes to things like the prices of stuff here, and you mentioned it going up, you know, so periodically. The mistake I think governments tend to make, it happened in the U.S., and it seems as if it's happening here as well, is that they just seem to concentrate on the macroeconomic numbers, the big numbers, like growth rate, the GDP, the standard of living, you know, the Human Development Index. Those are great, and they are good indicators. Yeah, right? And generally speaking, they are good indicators. But they're not the only indicators. And you cannot feel somebody's pain, somebody who really struggling. Don't tell them nothing about no GDP this and growth rate this and those kinds of things. They're not interested in that. They're interested in their day-to-day living. Just like our...
They're buying power.
Huh?
They're buying power.
Yeah, right. Whether they can save. If they're not living hand to mouth, you know, those kinds of things. Bus fare going up. Those day-to-day bread and butter issues are what a significant proportion of the populace is interested in.
Are forced to deal with it. They're really interesting. They're forced to deal with it.
Okay, all right. If you can put it, if you can put it that way. Your friend Dr. Douglas got in trouble once. Remember when he said public debt? You know what?
Public debt, may I ask?
It's the same kinds of things.
I gave him a whole calypso.
That's what he was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
That ordinary people not interested in those highfalutin things. They're important, yes, and government have to pay attention to them.
Well, let's look at what he said, right? To quote him, what the people of Olwo know about public debt. Imagine that. Public, let me ask. What does the people of Olwo know about public debt? Who are you talking to, the people of Olwo? Eh?
Yeah. It was very dismissive and
yes,
condescending.
Because you feel it and you speak up.
I don't think he meant it like that. I think what the point he was making is that people are more interested in bread and butter issues, not the economist figures and number crunching and so on.
That's what he meant it?
I think that's what he meant.
Okay.
But you don't? Okay. But the problem is that those are the things that matter. At the recent lecture, somebody with no axe to grind. I think he was from the campus of UWI. I think he's head of the campus at UWI in the Antigua campus.
Okay.
Violence campus, right? I think that was the speaker. And he noted that, and he also quoted things like our Human Development Index and how good it was, and crime statistics and those kinds of things. But he also noted that they don't seem to pay attention to the 40% who may be struggling. Okay? Right?
Got a good point. You got a good point.
The middle class and so on might be doing just fine. They're not too affected by the thing. They get a regular salary, and so on. They're not on minimum wage and those kinds of things.
But for those who operate below the poverty line.
Yeah, there are a large percentage of people who really live in
below
hand to mouth, and
the poverty line.
That is why the government may not understand it, but that is why so many people were up in arms about the $500, because it doesn't seem like much to certainly not to a lot of people, right? Well, some people in the middle class, and certainly to the politicians who are rich, but to those people who are down, that's a huge.
It makes a big difference.
Huge hole to fill.
Makes a big difference.
So, and I agree that you shouldn't really have to depend on government for that. But in lieu of that, instead of that, then bring in good-paying jobs, bring in investment, those kinds of things, right? That people can get by without having to be on the government dole.
Payroll, yeah.
Right? But that's not happening yet.
Do you, with your crystal ball? I'm having a call on the line, so if that comes in, I'll have a call? Okay, good. The caller, 11 Voices.
Again.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Gregory listening.
Sorry, Max. Sorry, you got cut off. Go ahead, Mr. Henry.
Hello?
I was saying to Mr. McMahon, so he got cut off.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now, I know Gregory like to do his research, eh? So I'm telling Gregory, please to go by the statistics office up at Blade. Let them show you the collection sheets. Let them explain to you the method of calculation. Because all what you said is incorrect.
Go ahead.
Food, you said that you don't measure food. That's not true. You have different categories. You have cereal, meats, cheese, and but you need to take a look at it.
He said food and energy.
Energy is on the transportation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to say, look, when the price of gasoline go from 18 to 12, that's a big drop, you know.
Yeah, but it's reflected. Sometimes when it happens, you, the driver, we don't get it? The reduction?
Yeah, but we're talking about when you're doing the calculation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big drop. It's almost a 50%. So he's incorrect. I encourage our people to learn to use statistics. We produce them and they don't use them. And then they make all sorts of, it sounds good what you said, but it's totally incorrect. And they have the quoting. The Consumer Price Index measures the basket of goods that ordinary people use.
Consumes.
It doesn't measure what the rich use. The rent, the lights, all of that is in there. There are different categories.
Okay.
So he's the second person who heard Dr. Warner with it. It sounds good. And when you come to the Biden and Trump, there was COVID, you know. Everybody seemed to forget COVID. And then there was the issue where the transportation costs went up because the Houthi or whoever they name. And Saudi Arabia was firing at, having wars.
That affects the cost of energy in terms of fuel.
Because the transportation costs on goods. So sometimes we make statements in isolation. So, I don't believe them. Go up, take. I think he retired by now. I believe Greg retired. Greg, please, and you could go on the site, statistics, Department of Stats, Maybe that's Kitten.
I think that is what Mr. McMahon was referring to also.
Eh?
I think that office at the Blading Complex is what Mr. McMahon was referring to also.
Yes, upstairs with the Department of Health.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did that work for years. I know Greg did work at the Inland Revenue for years. So I am asking Greg to please go and do your research. I know he's a man of research, eh? So
apparently, it sounds that way.
Eh?
It sounds that way.
He's good. I mean, he looked for one side, eh? That one side.
I'm not going to get between you and Greg.
No, but Greg made some statements which are incorrect a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't measure that. And they do. You must invite somebody from Stats to come explain. It is not the Consumer Affairs who does the calculation. We collect our own prices.
Data?
Now, with the shoes, when you're doing law, commercial law,
yes,
it says whatever you pay per good, you must get value for money. You know that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Value for money. So if you buy a pair of shoes for money and it just thing, you could take action.
Okay.
They're supposed to reimburse you or replace. These are in the law, you know.
Okay.
So some of them, they're not going to change it and whatever. You could take action, but the people sometime in the Department of Commerce, they look like maybe they just get a free gift.
It seems as if the important calls wait until the last 15 minutes.
Well, I hang up now, so somebody's could call.
Yeah, I have 2 more minutes left. I lost Mr. McMahon as a result. Caller, your 11 voices. Okay. Yes, I don't know if that was Mac trying to get back in because they were on the same point. But guys, yeah, okay. So for Mr. Mac, we want to apologize. We had to take a second call, another call, and we got about 2 minutes before we close things down today. So it's caller 11 voices.
Yeah, Socrates, sorry, it's me again. I don't think Miss Henry heard me properly. I was talking about how they calculate the core consumer price index in America.
In America, that is correct.
How they do it here.
That is correct.
So Miss Henry needs to understand. No, what I did say, normally what is done in America is done
around the region.
World, and I assume maybe it might be done here too, maybe, but I don't know how they calculate it here. I was also guessing maybe they might do the same thing here. But what I was talking about is how they calculate it in America.
Yes, I think you will take your point because you're making this distinction. We were speaking about America, and then I asked you to bring it home.
Right. Yeah,
so you didn't say that the same thing applies here.
Yeah, but we did not get into how they calculate it here because I do not know how they calculate it here.
Okay, I think she'll take your point.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for calling back and clarifying that point. Sister Henry now knows that he wasn't referring or making a statement of fact that was the same method used here in assessing the CPI. So we are at the moment at the end of another day's presentation of voices. It's been a most informative morning. I want to thank all the viewers, all the listeners who are part of this and continues to be, play a supporting role in terms of your engagement in the various topics. It's now 1:30 and I want to wish you adieu, and I'm not sure exactly if I'll be here on Friday, but we'll know within a few days. So in the meantime, between time, I want to wish you peace, love, a much better tomorrow, but inner peace most of all, right? See you guys another time.
WINN is 98.9.